Good evening, everybody. Welcome to the Georgia Shooting Connection Friday night live stream. Glad you could come out. We've got a pretty good show. We got a special guest with us this evening. We got Lever Guns 5110 with us. Guys, we want to say hey, and then we'll have a little moment here.
Hey everyone, it's Chico. Thanks for being here, and glad it's Friday. Glad to be here like always.
Well, that was quick and easy. Okay. Hey everyone, Kyle here. I'm glad to be here as always.
All right, y'all. Hey guys, happy Friday. I'm extremely excited to have Mr. Lever Guns with us this evening, and we've got some serious things to talk about, but we're going to try to have a good time tonight, and we're excited to have him on with us.
That's your cue, Lever Gun.
Hey everybody, this is Guns 5110. Thanks for letting me join you.
Absolutely, brother. We're glad to have you, and glad to have your buck there in the background.
Yeah, we'll have to get a better look at that before the night goes on.
Cool. I shot that one with my 32 special.
Yeah, you've been putting out some videos, man. I'm glad to see them. I'm glad I'm not the only guy that likes lever guns, but man, you take it to a new level.
Thank you.
And I got some obvious questions for later in the night, but right now, I think we need to address this great big elephant in the room. As all y'all members of the community know, our good brother and friend and Ozark Spirit lost his wife early this week. We seriously debated about canceling our live stream tonight, but after talking with him and visiting with him a little bit, we felt like we needed to do this and put some normalcy back in our lives for a while, and hopefully his as well. And tonight's show will be a memorial to Mrs. Ozark. So we're going to be talking about that on and off throughout the night. How y'all think we should progress with this? Should I say a prayer or?
We can, or we can do a moment of silence in front and a prayer at the end. Whatever you want to do, buddy.
Okay. We'll just have a moment of silence here for Ms. Ozark. Okay, thank you, fellas. I appreciate that. And, Ozark, brother, if you're watching, I hope you'll watch this replay. If you're not watching, we don't expect you to chime in or anything like that. But we love you, brother, and we're praying for you. We grieve with you. We hurt for you and with you. And anything you need, all you got to do is say the word. And they were on vacation, and she got sick, and she just couldn't get back. So Chico, I think you have a link that we can post up in the side chat. Ozark has asked that in lieu of flowers, that if any of y'all feel led, that you make a donation to Autism Speaks. And that was right in our wheelhouse because we've got our brother Chico has an autistic son as well. And I think if you feel led and if you can, Chico will post that link for you to make a donation to Mrs. Susie Park, Autism Speaks, and then you can make there's a place at the bottom where you can do any amount you want. But you got that link, Chico?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. I posted it in the side chat. Just like you said, when you go there, it'll say in honor of, and you can put in Ozark's wife's name, and it's in honor of or like a memorial of. And they've got denominations, but you can put your own denomination at the very bottom. You will see it in the link. I want to make sure that link works. I'm gonna click on it right now. But I did post it in the side chat. I'll be posting it throughout if some people missed it.
Appreciate that, Chico.
Yes, sir.
I'm gonna jump in here right quick. We don't normally do this kind of thing, but all of us got together and we were ready to hop in a car and go to Arkansas. And we first started talking to Mr. Ozark, and he was like, "Come on, that'd be great." And the further on in the conversation, he said, "You know what? In lieu of y'all coming here, do this for me." I think that would make the biggest difference. So we're all going to do that later on. I'll handle that, and y'all just get with me when you can.
Gotcha, brother.
Absolutely.
Guys, we appreciate y'all coming out tonight. And, so we got us a nice guest, and I'm going to have to roast him for a minute or two here. My brother, Jeremy, been putting out some 35 Remington videos. What's up with that, Lever? And it wasn't even a Marlin, it was a Remington pump.
Right. A good gun.
It is. It is. I'd love to have something like that, or just about anything in 35 Remington other than a Marlin lever gun, just to see if there's a difference in the accuracy of my loads. You know what I mean?
Yeah. I think the 35 Remington in the pump, you can actually load a little bit hotter. Not that you need to.
Yeah, I think the load data that we get in most of our manuals are underpowered for what the 35 Remington, particularly in the Marlin lever gun, can do.
I think so too, but you know.
I had one load running up about 2,150 feet per second.
I seen factory stuff that was almost 2,000 feet a second.
I dissected one of the Hornady Lever Revolution rounds, and I measured the powder charge, and I know it was Lever Revolution powder. You know, the Hornady. It was. I've got it written down, but if memory serves me correctly, it was 38.5 grains. with this bullet right here sitting on top of it. And that's the 35 caliber, what is it, FXT or FTX? It's got that tip on the front of it. It won't set your primers off, which Kyle still can't believe that, by the way, Mr. Lever.
I use them in my 340. It has a whole lot more recoil, and they never even damage the primer.
Well, I can tell you, I just don't want to. I don't want to make that test.
Well, there's Mr. Michael Sines out there saying hey to all of us. And
hey, Michael.
Mr. Taco, what's up, Taco? So, Mr. Lever, we don't see, and I shouldn't say it like this, but we don't see any reloading videos but from you, but we know you reload because some of those guns you got, you have to reload for them because you can't buy that ammo for them. So,
yeah, I just don't have videos on it because you know how YouTube is with that.
Because YouTube don't want us to make no reloading videos. That's manufacturing ammunition, right?
That's it. I reload all my bullets. The only thing I don't reload is 22 long rifle.
That's kind of what I suspected. And we see you on the side chat almost every weekend, and we appreciate the support. And I'm astounded at the quick growth of your channel, man. You show some awful nice lever guns, and you've got a good following pretty quickly. We're really proud of you.
Well, thanks to Georgia boy, he encouraged. I was thinking about giving it up.
Hey, Jamie, can you turn him up just a little bit?
No, I can't.
Okay.
I really can't.
Jamie, is there any way that you can give me a wrench?
I don't know that either.
We've been doing this for a year, and we don't even know what we're doing.
All right, try it now.
What are we doing?
Did I make you a moderator?
It's not showing yet. Sometimes it takes a little while, but I'll work on it.
Let me try something else. I just don't want to put us dead in the water like I did one time. Have to start all over.
Well, lever gun, what's your favorite lever gun caliber?
5110.
That's a hell of a layup, ain't it? Name of your channel.
Yeah. I like the 348 also. It's kind of like the 35 Remington.
I've only got a few. I've had several over my lifetime. I've still got my 35 Remington, and I got the 44 Magnum that I run stupid bullets through.
I got a question for lever guns. I'm familiar with your channel and I'm subscribed to you. And I was just going through your videos, and I see a video you posted 1 month ago is your most popular video, and it is the most powerful lever gun action cartridge, and it is a 80 Taylor. Is that correct?
51 cartridge.
Okay.
Who's got
It
dogs
says-
barking?
That's me, my neighbors.
Yeah, when I published it, it took off, I guess, because it's controversial, you know.
Yeah, anything controversial tends to have a habit of getting a lot of views on YouTube, doesn't it?
Yes.
It's unfortunate, but it is the case.
I've been dying to make a shotgun buckshot reloading video with the press that Julio sent me, but I'm just scared to post it.
All right, that's weird.
Yes, it is. Yes, it is, isn't it?
Uh-oh.
That didn't work. Sorry about the inception there, guys. I was trying to get some volume control there.
Thor's Axe, I'm scared to make it because I don't know if they'll allow it or not because of their new rules. I guess I could make a quiet one and not put anything in the no audio, and then if I'm not saying anything and you don't know how much I'm putting in of what, would that be okay? I don't know about reloading videos anymore. I've just been making them private and posting them somewhere else and putting them on the Reloaders Network.
Mr. Rolo Tomasi, I have not used any mighty dies. I mean, all my dies are pretty mighty, but I think that's more of an adjective than a noun.
There you go with them big words again.
Come on, man. You know adjective. I know you know that one.
That's adverb's cousin.
Now, dangling participle, on the other hand, I don't think anybody knows what it is. Besides, obviously, something that happens in the bathroom.
I was going, never mind, I ain't saying. Oh, Lord. Okay. Hey,
So I got another
soldier.
question.
How you doing, brother? This side chat versus camera thing's still driving me nuts after a year. Maybe I need to build me a platform where I can have the side chat behind it or something. I don't know.
You know, Kyle, I have a clamp, right? So I can clamp my iPad to my computer and do the screen and do this all at the same time. The problem is I can't see the side chat that far away because my eyes ain't good enough.
Well, thankfully, I don't have that problem. It's not going to say it's not going to change in the next 5 years, but I don't have that problem right now.
Yeah, Scotsman, that's exactly what's going on. We're just trying to mess around with it, but that's, I don't know, figure it out if we can. Oh, Vanessa, school teacher, school marm, give me the business.
Yeah, lever gun. Can you scoot up a little bit closer to your phone or computer or whatever you're using?
Yeah. Does that work?
Yeah, Taco, I don't know how much of that is keywords or just words in the description, or if it's just you guys got tagged hard, and I know they're trying to take as many videos as they can off of your channel.
Bacon just popped in. What's up, brother? I've been playing with a lot of different lever gun loads with my 44 Magnum, and Jamie, we really got to talk more. I've actually been to the range several times with that thing without you. I've got what is it, like 6 different molds now for 44 Magnum, and some of them work a lot better out of the heavier ones work better out of the rifle, of course, than the pistol, but the pistol's got a 8-inch barrel on it, so it's like a rifle. It's just fun playing with it. And me and Jamie have a lot of fun with the 35 Remington, so.
That's surprising to have that many molds for the 44, being that there's only one correct one.
The Keith?
Yeah, of course.
Of course, yes. I have that one. But there's also 5 different ways I can make that bullet.
Yeah, well, that's true. You got I don't even know where you would go to find a right Keith mold anymore. I know it'd have to be old.
Well, that's true. You got to.
That's not me echoing through. Well, it's me echoing through, but I don't know through who. Yeah, I know Lyman screwed up the Keith mold. I don't know who would have the proper dimensions on one. And then you got, gas check or not.
What bullet weights you using in that 44?
Who, me?
Yes.
Oh, good Lord. Anything from pretty much 200 grain to, God, what are those gigantic things? I can't even remember. I don't have my notebook sitting there next to me, but they're like 360. So it's a taco mold that I won on one of his giveaways, but I can't remember what it was.
300.
Ginormous.
I found 300 grains to be pretty
Hang
accurate.
on a minute. Lee 310 is working. Hang on, let me go through some bullets here. Oh. Well, here's some hollow points. Let's these are one of the Keith hollow points. Come on, baby. All right, Keith hollow points are 265-ish with a large hollow point in them. I don't know if I have any of the smaller ones left. I think I loaded all of those up. But there's 3 different size hollow points for that thing. Come here. All right. $285 on these NOE molds. Got the Lee 310, the Lee Tumbleube 245, I think it is, and I found a Lee single lube groove 200 grain. I believe is what it is. Those are what I'm playing with, but I can make 5 different bullets with one of those molds. So
That's a big man on the screen.
That's a big man.
That's all just false rumors and hearsay. That kind of word gets out, and then it's just bad news all around.
Eric, do you know everybody?
Most of you I've met. Kyle, I think this is the first time I've been on with you. And Levergun also, I believe, first time I've been on a chat with you. Everybody else I believe I've been on with. So for those of you that I have not met, hello.
nice
Pleased
to meet you.
you.
I know we've commented on each other's stuff before and all that, but it's nice face to face.
True statement.
I may be speaking out of turn here, but Mr. Lever, you can confirm this for me. But I think this is the first time you've been on a live stream, isn't it?
Yes, sir.
Well, we're honored that you chose us to be the first group you hang out with, and we're glad to have you. And everybody's always glad to have Eric.
You say that now, but thank you. I appreciate it.
We'll talk later.
Yep.
Putting me on.
Thanks for joining us.
Oh, thank you for having me. It's a pleasure, as always.
I had to readjust my lighting scenario.
Well, you look like you're glowing.
Well, before I looked like Daniel God is my judge.
Okay.
No, I mean, just you can't see anything.
Yeah, I know. I think that's intentional. I think he actually walks around in face black all the time, hiding in the woods.
That's funny.
Okay, so we've been on almost 30 minutes. So, Mr. Chico, you want to run down the side chat for us?
I definitely will. So I'm gonna do a refresh and call everyone out so y'all don't be mad at me if I miss you. So first up, we've got Brody 556, the Crazy Scotsman, Thorzax, PC Bullet Empire, Vborg 001, Big Man Outdoors is on the panel with us. Reloader 762, Loaded Cap Gun, Full Lead Taco, Vanessa Kitty, Sharita Burks. Hello, I actually know her. We've got the Reloading Press is on the panel with us. PC Bullet Empire, Ocean 374, Idaho Rogers, Andy 79Z28, Loads of Bacon, Brody 556, Tread, Jeremy Gunslinger. Who else? I don't want to miss anyone.
You got Chris.
Eagle Eye
38.
Shooting, Chris 338. I'm scrolling. Thoughts of an Old Soldier.
You hadn't said Loads of Bacon yet.
I did Loads of Bacon again for the second. Rolo Tomas. Well, thank you for being here. Never seen him before. Tacos and French fries. And I'm still scrolling, guys. Bear with me. Uncle John. And that is it at the moment. Fuzz T Fork, yes. And if I miss any of you, drop a hammer and we'll call you out. So thanks for being here, side chat.
I know you haven't said loaded cap gun.
I did twice.
No, that was Loads of Bacon.
Okay, I gotta say
twice.
I gotta say hello to Thorzax and Idaho Rogers. I wrote in the side chat, "Hey David," and both of them said, "Hey." So I want to say hey back to both of you guys. So glad both of you are with us tonight. Idaho, how you feeling, buddy? Getting your strength back a little bit? And I suspect, Big Al, did you answer my question earlier? He said he got to go home, so I'm thinking he might have been in the hospital. I know he had a procedure scheduled, so hopefully it's just a routine matter.
Well, we've got a lot going on as far as that. Willie's just got home. Prayers go to him. Big Al's been dealing with some things. Yeah.
Did you see Bacon's comment?
I just did. Yeah, Chico, you didn't mention me.
Sorry.
I'm worried about everybody you've already mentioned twice. You didn't even mention me.
Don't need to mention you.
Cal needs no introduction. We know that.
Exactly.
All right, I'm going to shut up and let everybody talk. Y'all rock it out. I'll make a list of my questions.
I got some rookie. You guys know I got these rookie questions.
Uh-oh. It's getting deep out there. Idaho, behave.
No, bad, no.
I agree, Thorzax. I wish we all did live closer together. We're trying to work out the logistics of our meeting coming up supposedly on July the 5th, and we've been working on some maybe a house to rent or whatever, and we're watching every time we get on one, and Scott will send me an email, and it's available, and then when I go to look at it, it's already been rented. So we may have to do a motel or a hotel or something like that. We're also thinking of pushing it back a little bit, making it, putting it farther off. I don't know what's going to happen, but if we can get a firm date from the facility, that'll make planning a whole lot easier. We've gone around this backwards, I'm afraid.
Well, and now they're dealing with all kinds of rain again now.
Yeah.
So I don't even know if the 1,000 is it yards or meters. I mean, not like it matters, but I don't even know if that range is going to be open yet.
I don't know how long it'll be open. I don't know the distances that'll be open, but we got a couple of questions out there in the side chat, and Lever, you and Big Man can feel free to chime in. Jeremy Gunslinger said to remind everyone about the biggest sin that they can commit with a loaded gun, I'm assuming at a range.
Keep your shit pointing down range. Where?
Mr. Mr. Lever shoots out at his house all the time. I don't think he has many people hanging around.
Yeah, always treat a weapon like it's loaded, even when you know it's not.
That's the one I try to live by. Every gun is loaded all the time. Never point it or flash it across somebody or anything like that. And I'm assuming that's what Jeremy's talking about. Then the other question we had was from Thoughts of an Old Soldier, and he asked, "What is everyone on the panel's favorite propellant?" Well, mine would be gunpowder.
Yes. Beans.
I'm pretty partial to gasoline, but unique could be could be a good second.
Yeah, that depends on for what cartridge and for what handgun or rifle. I think my favorite rifle powder is Western Ramshot Tac. And for 357 Magnum, I'd have to say H110. For 9, 40, and 45, I would have to go with Tight Group.
Yeah, I just grab a bottle of unique and I'd be done. I can do pretty much anything I need to do with that, including rifle.
I would agree with Jamie on 9, 45, and 40 cal. I like Tight Group. I've got loads worked up that are perfect. On 308, it's 4064. On 30-06, it's 3895. 270, I like 4064. 4064 is a good universal powder. 223 depends on if we're talking cast bullets or jacketed bullets. I like Varget. I like CFE 223. 300 Blackout. I like H335. Good Lord, I love a lot of crap. 44 Magnum. I like Trail Boss. It's actually Trail Boss is actually what I've had the best luck with. Let's see. I'm sure I'll get to some other ones here in a minute, but y'all carry on. I'm waiting on pizza.
Why don't you just name the powders you don't like?
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. That's not a favorite. You just named off powders.
I haven't been through them all, so I can't say.
Yeah.
Favorite pistol, Tight Group. Favorite rifle, 4064.
There you go.
There you go. See, that's what he was saying. And Jeremy clarified his question. He said he's talking about the one with guns and beer. That goes without saying. You don't do alcohol and firearms at the same time, man. Yeah.
That is a recipe for disaster.
The Scotsman posted the link for the Autism Speaks donations for Ms. Ozark. So, again, if any of y'all wasn't on when we were talking earlier, I encourage y'all to go make a donation to Autism Speaks in memory of Ms. Ozark. And her name is Susie Park. So the guys and I are making a contribution in the name of the Georgia Shooters Connection. So, Lever Guns, are you there, bud?
I'm here.
You got any favorite powders you want to share with us?
Well, when you have as many variety as I do, one powder won't cut it. I think becoming my new favorite powder.
I'm sorry, guys. Pizza just got here. What did I miss?
We were waiting on Lever Guns to tell us about his favorite powders.
Oh.
Did you hear me?
No, try it again.
Yeah, I think Varget, it's probably becoming one of my new favorite powders.
That's cool.
Yeah.
That's hard to argue with. I've got a new one that I hadn't tried yet, but I'm going to be, we've got the potential to maybe be shooting out to 1,000 yards. So I've got some Shooter's World 4350. And I don't know how that's going to compare with the the usual IMR and the I can't come up with it now, but the usual 4350s. But if it's anywhere close at almost half the price, yeah, we can work with that.
I really wish they had some of that stuff local. I always hate the mail order powder, but those Shooters World powders are something I'd be interested in trying. I just haven't found them here.
What part of the world are you in?
Western Pennsylvania, northwestern Pennsylvania.
Okay.
Gun shows usually find a whole load of that stuff at.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
I'm going to do something. Let me do something for Thoughts of an Old Soldier right quick. There you go, brother.
Why did you put Olive's Black Death rings on a pizza? You could have put pineapple and just destroyed it, but
Oh man,
You don't like black olives?
you don't like pineapple?
what the hell's wrong with both of you? It's
Us.
a pizza.
Dude, look in the mirror.
I've got a pineapple sitting right on the kitchen table.
It is a meat delivery process. It has nothing to do with black olives and pineapples. Black olives are fine. They're great on salads.
Mm.
Where they belong.
Good on pizza. You should try it sometime.
Yeah.
Oh, I have. You're all wrong.
Okay, guys. Mario's out there. Y'all ready? All together.
Hey.
There was another question I wanted to mention here because it's a ways back before I forget. Sharinda Burtz asked us about bullet puller for her Dillon 550C. I've never had a press-mounted bullet puller. I've always just used a kinetic bullet puller, but I'm pretty sure that some of the other guys have used different tools to do that with. Yep, I got the exact same one. It's junk.
Yep.
It works.
I was gonna say it gets them out.
It does. It's just that collet is annoying, and it always will be annoying. I've gotten to where I usually use the if I've got to do enough of them, I'll just use the shell holder in it. But.
Yeah, that works awesome. Using the shell holder in that. I know NYC Reloaders out there. He uses a press mounted. Oh no, he does not. I'm sorry. I'm thinking about a Swager. He doesn't. So that's wrong. Yeah, Sharinda. She's a reloader. I know she's a skeet shooter also. I actually sent her a link over here, and so she's a woman reloader, and I know we're kind of lacking that in our community. So thanks for being here.
Yeah, I appreciate it. Thanks, Chico, for sending her, and thanks for coming out and checking us out. We did get one thing that was obvious here is Tim over at PC Bullet Empire ... when talking about favorite powders. Yeah.
That's it. Anything involving dots.
Yeah.
Also, Tim's a pretty interesting individual. His press-mounted bullet puller is a damn multi-tool.
Yeah, I've seen that, but I mean, there's that Hornady one. I've never used it. I just don't typically have to pull that many of them. I've only got to do one or two every so often, usually. I
think it was Thorzak's that made a really good video on the Hornady. It was either the Hornady or the RCBS. Cam lock doodad. I'm sorry, yeah. I'm eating. I'm gonna stop.
I ended up getting mine, Kyle, just a little bit before we started, so I was jamming it down my neck as Jamie was sending the link. Loaded Cap Gun asked about Mig. Yeah, Mig has been around. He's usually working during our chat, though. At least anymore he is.
Yeah, that's another guy.
Go ahead, Chico. Sorry about that.
My powder. Sorry, no, that's my bad. I'm late doing it. My favorite powders, and you guys only know I do pistol at the moment, 9 and 45. So, like everybody else, I like tight group, but I also like, and I haven't tested a lot, but I also like the HP 38. I just need to run up more. I need to do more testing, but the tight group, I go through it. I got some sitting in my hopper right now.
HP 38 is the same as, what is it, 296?
I always get them mixed up.
One's IMR. They're both spectacular powders. Problem is you can't always find them. Around here where we're at, you can always find tight group. It's pretty much readily available, whether you want a 1 pound, 5 or 4 pound, or 8 pound.
There's the bearded CB. Yeah, it's the same as 231, HP 38 and 231. What Taco and Reloader 762 both said. I think.
I'm sorry, I said 296. I think it's 231.
H110 and Winchester 296 are the same, I believe.
Yeah, I always get those mixed up. I've got to check in the reloading manual. I don't use one powder for the other anyway, usually. So I usually just go with whatever the 110 load is, or the HP 38. I got both, I think.
Yeah, I got it right. Taco said I got it right. 296 and H110.
I was going to say,
hey,
thank you, Mike, for setting me straight.
And Idaho Rogers says for pulling bullets, he uses 2 pair of vice grips and a hammer.
Oh, my favorite method for pulling bullets is probably my 4-inch Smith.
I was going to say, Mr. Chapin said that as well. He uses his rifle, I think.
I've also seen the way Idaho works on his Peterbilt. Just saying.
Likes his work to go easy.
I'm messing with you, brother. You know it.
Hey, Warsaw Patriot, glad to see you, man.
I got some two-legged foul goodness I got to devour right now, so I'm gonna put you on mute and gonna block my camera because y'all don't need to see this. This is gonna be carnage from hell.
I can only imagine, brother. It'd be like barbecue or whatever, hot sauce up in your nose. Just
yeah, those look good.
These are.
We were just talking about you.
Plenty of jalapenos in them. We're going to town.
So, one question for y'all. I noticed a couple were mentioned, like CFE 223, things like that. Do you pay attention to the temperature sensitivity whenever you guys are looking at powders like that? CFE 223 was one that I thought about using, but I heard that the sensitivity of it was pretty big, and I just tend to stay away from powders like that. Is that something y'all think about when you're making your powder selection?
That is
for me, it is. Sorry, Levergrounds, I stepped on you.
Yes, I was going to ask the same question because I found some powders when you make a good load up in the summertime, and then you take it hunting in the wintertime,
yep.
You put low.
Yep. Or vice versa.
Yeah. And so I really like a lot of the Hodgson powders because most of it is not very sensitive to temperature.
Yeah, it looks like they actually intentionally started changing powders. I know they did that with 4350 and some of their other powders to make them less temperature sensitive. I pay attention to it, but what I mean by that is like if I got around, like if I'm going to mess with something like CFE 223 or something like that, and I load that up, when I put that load data in my book, I actually mention the date, and that gives me a roundabout idea of temperature. Right. And during the winter, I'll see if I go to shoot during the winter, I'll see if there's differences. And if it's a gun that I need for hunting, which might be colder, I'd rather work up a load during that season if I've got something. But if it's just a target gun that's only going to see summer use, I really don't pay attention or care because it's always hot down here anyway.
Yeah.
Isn't that the Hodgson Extreme marking that they put on the bottle?
Yeah, I think you're right, Kyle. Yep.
Temperature sensitive stuff. Temperature plays a huge factor in accuracy, especially at long distance. You can be 7 feet high because it's 5 degrees warmer.
Right.
I mean, it's you really have to know your dope on your rifle and the ammunition, and have to know all the factors to be shooting that far.
Yeah, like I said,
accuracy.
I usually just try and stay away from them. I started working with Reloader 17 at one point, but I just gave that up because of that reason. It was a bit more temperature sensitive than what I would like. I think I switched to Reloader 16. It seems to be more stable. So I just, like I said, I just didn't know if you all used it or if you just paid attention to it. I personally just like stay away from them because I don't want to have to worry about it.
Right.
That's
Where
just
I'm
me.
in Georgia and where I shoot, it can be anywhere from 118 degrees to 8 degrees.
Mhm.
So, I mean, you really got to worry about that kind of stuff if you're doing it competitively or anything. But just going out on the weekends, oh crap, a little too low. Give me about 9 clicks up, you know.
Right. Well, and like Lever had said, for hunting rounds and things like that, if I would go and use a temperature sensitive powder now and develop something for, that looks good, might end up low. You said that right on, and that's then you're scratching your head wondering why no deer in the freezer this year.
Right. I use some programs and some spreadsheets to make very accurate dope charts for multiple different temperatures. Because I think the way I look at it, 77 will shoot pretty much just as accurately as 80 degrees. So I just go in 10-degree increments, and you can look at it on the dope chart and see the difference. It's not as huge as you would think, but if you sighted the rifle in and it was 50 degrees and you're hunting or target shooting or whatever, and now it's 100 degrees, you're going to be like 14 feet high, depending on the caliber.
Or you could blow the primer out.
So, lever guns, how do you deal with that?
Well, I live in Alabama. In Alabama, you might start out 16 degrees in the morning, but it might be 60 degrees by afternoon, and you're still hunting. So you really don't want your ammunition to be temperature sensitive.
Yeah, we have the same issue here in Georgia. I'll give you an example. The biggest deer I've ever killed, I shot him at 11 o'clock. And when we climbed in the tree stand before daylight, it was like 24 degrees. But by the time I got that deer to the truck and to the processor, it was like 74 degrees.
You were wearing shorts and a t-shirt.
No, but I wished I was. But lever gun's right, man. We have some pretty wild temperature fluctuations in the South, and particularly during the rut, which is the second week of November. That second full week of November is the rut here. People can say what they want to, can say it changes with the temperature. No, it don't. The only thing that changes in the rut is the temperature changes when the deer are going to be active and when you're liable to see them. If it's hot during that second week of November, they're going to be doing their thing during the cool of the evening, and you won't ever see them.
I'll actually agree with that, Jamie. It's still around the same time, it's just what time of day they're going to do it.
Yep.
Jamie, that's here in Alabama where I live, the rut comes in late January and goes into the first week of February.
Yeah, well, I tell you what, me and you need to do, brother. I need to have you up here in November. You need to have me down there in January.
That's right.
So, all right, I got a critical question for you, Lever. I know about where you live. Auburn or Alabama?
I'm not a football fan. I want to hunt during that season.
Yes, sir.
It's been a trick question. Getting a lot of trouble down here.
That baseball's over, sports are over.
That where he lives, that's I think I know where he's going.
Yeah, I go in people's houses all the time because I do air conditioning work, and so they're all the time saying if you're an Auburn fan, don't come in my house, or if you're an Alabama fan. So I got to be neutral.
Yeah, because it depends on which game warden's watching this live cast, whether or not you get a tag next year. They take that shit seriously down here, guys.
Not just that. That was a few years back, and I know Lever's going to remember this, but there was a guy that poisoned the trees.
Yeah.
In Comer Square. How you say it?
Coomer's Corner.
Yeah, I thought it was Coomer.
Yeah, so I can't remember this guy's name, but he named one of his kids Allie and the other one Bammy. And they finally did an interview with him, and all I remember him saying at the end of the interview was "Roll Down Tide" like that. And I'm like, dude, you're off the deep end. And I know down here in the South it's supposed to be our way of life against their way of life, but man, it's a football game, okay? Ain't nobody going. But let me put it to you this way: Alabama and Auburn had to stop playing football against each other for 50 years because they were half killing each other. There were fights during the game and all that crap. I mean, it was bad.
It still is.
Yeah, it is. I mean, riots in the stands, the football teams half killing each other during fights at halftime. But the kick six will go down in football history. And another thing that's happened in that series is Auburn's play-by-play radio announcer was lost his life in a car crash about a week and a half ago. So that's bad for them guys. But you know, being a Georgia fan, we don't play Alabama that often, but I'm not an Auburn fan at all. Y'all know that. And thoughts of an old soldier, I got a lot of friends that are Tennessee Vol fans, but that's okay. I love them anyway. And I'll be praying for y'all. But enough about football. Ain't we supposed to be talking about reloading and stuff such as that?
That's what
I know.
thought.
I brought it up.
Yeah, we're going to talk a little bit about bullet choice tonight. I know we're getting close to halfway, and we wanted to do some stuff there, but initial bullet choice I think is interesting, especially from the perspective of somebody like Lever Gun who shoots calibers that aren't as well used nowadays, right? So your bullet choices, as new bullet become available, they may not be used hardly at all in your caliber. I think that's kind of interesting when you're trying to choose to work up a new load, what bullet you're going to try to go with.
Yeah, most of the time I bullet. Hey.
Lever, you breaking up. Try it again, buddy.
Most of the time, I just have someone make my bullet molds to whatever specifications I want.
Wow, so you go strictly for your utilizations, right? So you're saying if you're wanting to you shoot at this kind of yardage, at this kind of game, or this kind of target, or whatever, how exactly do you come up with how the design will best work? Do you go by some kind of ballistic stuff, or is it just kind of more of what you know from reading and experience?
Well, you go with whatever rate of rifling you have, what will work best with that rate of rifling and the speed you want.
Mm-hmm.
Dang, man, he's smart. Listening to him talk makes my brain hurt.
So lever guns, do you have a preferred mold manufacturer?
Not really. The last one we got made was by an older gentleman. I'm not sure if he still makes them, but he made it out of brass and it worked good.
I've yet to have a brass mold. Any of you guys have one? I haven't used one yet.
I don't.
Not I.
So, Lever, you have a machinist make your molds, or do you have a mold company make them?
Well, the guy advertised on, I forget, on the internet that he makes bullet molds. So we sent him the specifications and he sent back the mold and it was perfect.
That's interesting. Work well?
Yes, sir, it did. You've probably seen them 550 grain bullets in my one of my videos.
Yeah.
It was kind of a tumble lube. I know some people don't like them, but I like them. They work good.
Cool.
So what kind of speed are you pushing this 500 grain bullet? You said on that video, didn't you?
Well, I actually wanted it to be a subsonic, because the bigger your bullet, more recoil. But if you're shooting subsonic, you want as big as you can get for the energy.
Yeah.
I have shot it up to like 2,000 feet a second.
Man.
It's no fun.
Hey, what's that feel like?
It's 70-something pounds of recoil.
Whoa. So basically it feels like a mule kicked you in the shoulder, right?
Oh no, a mule has like 1,000 pounds behind that kick.
Okay.
About like a 12 with 2-ounce turkey loads.
Go ahead, big man. What were you going to say?
I was just going to say a miniature mule. Little one.
A donkey, I think, is a miniature mule. Right? I can't even say the word donkey anymore without, in my head, having to not say it the Shrek way.
Forever ruined.
Yeah, the rest of my life completely ruined. I'll be 80 years old and some donkey will walk by and I'm like, donkey!
Donkey!
Look at me like I'm crazy. Like, you don't. Yeah.
Guys, give me a minute. I got to make a phone call. I'll be back in just a second.
He's got to call about them wings. They weren't hot enough.
No, I got to call my mother about my son's birthday party tomorrow.
Because they need to get wings.
No, because by the time I get off of this chat,
Can you get on your phone call so I can make fun of you while you're on the phone call?
We'll be
all right, I'll be back.
Be here, brother.
Please hang up and dial again.
Yeah. There aren't any wings here, sir.
Okay. I got a box full of bones. That was it. What the heck?
So, big man, you want to expand on that thought?
About the wings or the bullet choice? I'm
Not
assuming
the
bullet
wings,
choice, right?
Bullet choice.
Yeah, so I guess it really depends on what I want to do. And I'm kind of limited on where I'm coming from because I haven't reloaded a whole lot. But take the 224 Valkyrie, for instance. My goal for that is longer range. So I want those. I want to look at the the long distance type of rounds for that. Now with like the 300 Win Mag and the 308 and the .6, I'm looking for hunting. That's my goal. I'm not necessarily want to take those out longer ranges. So I want to get something, like a hunting round, like a lead core, something that's going to expand. And, like Lever Gun said, matching the twist rate is paramount for sure. So, but
one of the things that confuses me or that I think is interesting is that depending on the round, let's just say, for instance, 30 caliber is easy. You may have 5 to 10 to more bullets, all the exact same weight to choose from. I mean, just in Hornady's line, you'll have 4 or 5 or in the same weight. And then you start getting into Sierras, and then you start branching out to all the crazy shit stuff. What gets me is that there are some people out there that know enough to be able to know which bullet's going to work best in their gun without having shot one round. See, I have to go through every one of them. I got to pick whatever's on the shelf first because that's the cheapest because I have it, and then have to go from that and try to find something and maybe guess because I just don't have the experience of understanding how bullet shape is affected by, rifling depth and speed and all that. I just don't know it. Like the shape of the bullet being affected by speed, no clue. Like how in the heck do you know that? But there are people that do, and it kills me when I talk to some of those guys because it's just insane the amount of knowledge that they're running with.
Yeah, I want to grow up to be that person.
Yeah. And that's what Levergun was saying a while ago, and that's what I said when I said just listening to him talk makes my brain hurt. He knows that stuff, and that's amazing to me.
Most of the rifling twist is on the overall length of your bullet. If your bullet's real long, you're going to have a lot faster twist, even though it might be lighter than a different bullet.
Yeah, we were having this discussion last week or the week before about the speed of the twist is more determined by the length of the bearing surface of the bullet than by the weight. Am I right about that, Lever?
Really, the overall length.
The overall length of the bullet is what you're saying?
Correct. The longer your bullet is, the more it takes to stabilize, the faster the spin.
Right, thinking about it like a football spinning through the air. If you try and just throw it end over end or just without a spin.
But if you take the same weight of bullet and you make it a flat nose and really short, it is as fat as you can, a slower twist will still stabilize that bullet, even though it has a lot more bearing surface.
It's one of the reasons why wad cutters and old 38 specials work so well.
Exactly.
But for the most part, if you've got the faster twist and the fatter bullet, I mean, you can't over twist them depending on the velocity, but
you can if you short a bullet. If you over twist, it'll spin off and shoot.
Right.
Fly straight.
Right. I guess my point, what I was thinking about was you probably want to go for the higher twist rate because you'll have more of an option to stabilize more bullets across the spectrum as opposed to a slower twist rate.
It's interesting. The 308 usually has 1 in 12 twist, while the 30-06 and all the other 30 calibers usually have 1 in 10.
Which some would say is because 30-06 can shoot faster, but I don't think that's all that practical, is it?
It's actually because 30-06 is supposed to shoot a longer, heavier bullet.
Okay, which makes sense. So what you're saying is your rifling twist is in some respect a function of bullet design by the factory, like what they are intending the gun to shoot.
Correct.
Interesting, because I wondered. I mean, I know these are two pretty different rounds, but the difference in the twist between the 450 Bushmaster and the 458 SOCOM is crazy. And while the bullet size weight is going to be somewhat comparable, at least in the smaller SOCOMs, it's just about because the SOCOMs are meant to stabilize that long bullet at a very slow speed, and so that's why they're twisted the way it is. Interesting.
But it's also to do with the diameter. The larger a diameter of a bullet, lower the twist. Because if you take like a 223, it's going to be like 1-7 or something like that. Where if you was to use a 50 caliber and did it 1-7, it would probably just spin off like a top.
Yeah.
Or jump the rifling, which would give you pretty much the same effect. All right, let me get my head around this. So you got, what would be the difference in the rifling twist rate of a 7.62 by 51 NATO and a 308 Winchester? Is that, I know it's the same round, but is the barrel twist rate the same? Does anybody know that?
As far as I know, it is.
Well, and the reason I asked that, because your original purpose for 308 was pretty much a hunting round, but the 7.62 by 51 is a military round. The 30-06 was originally a military round, and that kind of makes me wonder how all that plays into the equation as well.
I think the military, they adopted the 147 grain bullet, and it stabilizes as well in the 1-12 twist.
Okay. So they kind of compromised between the 1-10 and the 1-14, because wasn't the original bullet for the 30-06 147 grain as well?
Original was a 220 grain.
Whoa. That's a big difference.
Well, they had just come down from the 45-70. They went to the 30-40 Craig, which I think it also used a 200 grain bullet. And, when you're coming down from something as big as a 400 or 500 grain bullet, you don't just go down in one increment.
Yeah. That's pretty cool. But that would kind of explain why the 30-06 is 1-10, you reckon?
Yeah.
Because they were coming down from that heavier bullet and would need that to stabilize that bigger bullet like that. Yeah. That kind of explains it and wraps it up for me. There's ambiguity.
Yeah, I mean, I know one of the ways in which I've seen that kind of take shape is, and I think I've talked about before, is the 303 Brit. 174 grain round nose being a little bit different of a bullet overall length and bearing surface than the Spitzers makes a giant difference in accuracy almost with anyone I've ever picked up. You put that round nose bullet in there, and all of a sudden the thing will tighten right up. Because of I think it's because of the due partly to the twist rate, and also because usually they have the throat's kind of shot out of them some. But it is interesting, man. Bullet choice is a honey of a topic for me. I think it's such an important part of what you're doing, especially now we have so many different options. I mean, I think when I first started loading, you might have 4 or 5 different bullets for a 30 cal 150 grain. Now you have like 100,
right?
And it's just crazy. I mean, even it seems like everybody's got to put out 5 or 6 different bullets for whether this is bow tail or Spitzer or it's just crazy how many different options there are.
Now Hornady came out with those aluminum AMAX or whatever they're called. Those ones that are like $100 for a box.
$100 a box of bullets. I don't know.
They're ridiculous. They are ridiculous.
Like, I mean, by the time you work up the load and then shoot the animal, you could have just bought it. Like, it completely does away with the idea of hunting to like sustain yourself.
Yep.
I don't know. That's weird, man. But I guess the long range guys don't care. They'll spend whatever to do their hobby, and that's cool. I get that. I'm a race car guy, or was a race car guy, so I get it. But
And Tread said that was for only 50 rounds too.
Oh, sorry. Don't get your hopes up on that one then.
Yeah.
Oy.
I'm a signal soldier. I won't be buying any of those.
Yep.
They like them more than I do.
But yeah, I mean, that's as far as like you were saying, picking bullets. That's one of the things I'm trying to go through now is what am I going to use for these 30 cals? I tried a 150 grain interlock, and what's next? Something heavier, something. Where do you go? I think I'm going to have to just do some research and see what other people like. And
I think there's a good bit of that, you being able to develop a load to work with a bullet in most cases, unless your rifling twist is kind of out of whack with the bullet design too bad. During that Hornady lock and load thing, I think I ended up with 5 or 6 different boxes of, I think, 150 grain flat base bullets, 30 cal bullets, and that's pretty much so all I go to. And I'll figure out a way to make them work, because I've got them. I want to mention here, we're a little bit past halfway, guys. Crazy Scotsman just put a link in the description or in the side chat. It's for Autism Speaks. Tonight we're kind of doing an in memorial of Ozark Spirit's wife. If you feel that you want to donate, go ahead and click on that link to Autism Speaks, and you can put her name in the box down at the bottom of the page. It's Susie Park, and Ozark would appreciate it. So thank you. Oh, yeah, Jerry says it's all about the adventure. No, I totally get that, man. Like, as far as hunting goes, to me, that's what I remember, right? Like, whenever I think back to hunting when I was, especially when I was a kid and stuff, I remember the adventure. I don't necessarily remember frying up those steaks later on or anything. It's to the hiking and the camping and all that such stuff. Here it's just so daggum hot that the deer hunting a lot of times is almost like a chore to a lot of guys, because it's like you get out your stand and you're sweating like a dog. If you kill something, you're like, thank God, just so I can get out of here. But I think up in North Georgia, it's a little bit more decent. Down here, we've had Jamie's talking about that second week in November. I think ours is a little bit different down here, but we've had hunting seasons where it barely got out of the 70s in the morning. So, at sunrise, you're 70, 72, you're 84, 85 by the time you get out of the stand. That's ridiculous. Anyway, I'm giggling, sorry.
That's hard hunting because the bugs don't die.
Oh, yeah. That's what I'm saying. It gets miserable down here. When I know my brother Gary, who's done a lot more hunting than I have, he's practically quit just because it's just nonsense. Bugs all in your face. The squirrels won't leave you be because they're still active. The deer aren't moving because it's just, because the weather's junk. They've got a second harvest out in the field. So what the deer are doing is they're going from the field wherever they're at, crossing over to whatever water they have. So they barely are moving and bedding down by the time it's 4 or 5 o'clock in the morning, and you don't see anything because it's just been so hot the past couple of years. Unless you want to go down a dirt road and go shoot one at the edge of the field, or do kind of what Rob does, which is nuisance hunting, basically shooting at edges of fields, and that takes some of the fun out of it. I would love to get back up sort of where Big Man is and do some hunting up there, because there's some nice country there.
Anytime you make it up, let me know.
Word. I haven't been up that way in a while.
Let me say something back to Jeremy. Yes, Ozark did pick the charity, and that's because they do have an autistic son, as well as Chico, and I think Ozark really helped Chico, and they've had some long talks about the supporting their sons and stuff like that. So, yeah, it was a natural thing, and that's what they chose to do in place of flowers, and we're definitely trying to honor that.
Oh, I bitter about.
So that's where we're at about that charity. They all that money's going to research and everything like that. It's not one of them clamshell kind of places where the administrators get 85% of the money. I just don't believe in that kind of stuff. But back to the hunting thing, I think lever guns. I'll tell you too. Up here, I got a compound
That
bow.
is true. And if I could, just to help.
Go ahead, Chico.
I think Chico had a little bit of lag there.
He had some lag. Go ahead, buddy. Chico, you want to talk?
Me? Am I lagging?
Yeah, brother, you've been. I think you're lagging pretty hard.
No, I was trying to see. Am I lagging? Okay. I'm gonna jump back in. Sorry, I thought it was James.
Yeah, we got to work on Chico's network connection. But anyway, what I was saying is I was trying to get into bow hunting and lever guns will probably agree. They're around here.
Yeah.
I think where he lives is pretty much as far as north and south goes. I think it's pretty much in the middle of the state. So, we live in north part. So, like, I'm up here in the northwest corner. Kyle is a little bit east of me, and then Chico is about 30 minutes south of Kyle. But up here, during September when it's bow season, yeah, it's still mosquitoes will drive you out of the tree stand, man. And they're as big as helicopters. Just about it. Oh, I've been listening to Kyle too much. I'm exaggerating way too much.
A pterodon mosquito will get you every time.
Yeah. So, Lever, do you get into bow hunting, sir?
I have bow hunted quite a bit. I never let the bugs get me out of the thing. It's our season comes in a little bit like yours because our bow season comes in October the 15th and goes out. Well, don't go out till February 10th.
Yeah, it's different for y'all because y'all's rut is so much later than ours.
Yeah, our fawn August.
Try it again, Lever. You was breaking up, bud.
Yeah, our fawns are born in August. What month are your fawns born?
Typically April, May.
So yours are like normal for the Americans' average. Ours are oddball deer.
Yeah, and y'all got some big deer over in Alabama. Y'all's are a good bit bigger than ours. And I don't know if you ever been to Texas or watched many hunting shows back from Texas, But it's like their deer grow great big huge antlers, but they're pretty small deer, basic, relative size wise.
Yeah, I've seen that. I sometimes I wonder if the deer are just so small they make the antlers look big.
There's no trees for them to go over there and run up against. Spindly deer.
They got a lot of mesquite down there, but that mesquite, that's rough stuff. Bacon said he does a good bit of bow hunting. I didn't know that, Bacon.
I went bow hunting. I did a couple years, but the last time I went when I was 16, and I shot a buck. The first day, our bow season is the first season of the year, and this is back before we had any other kind of bonus tags. One tag, went out 9:30 in the morning, shot my buck, and I was done. And I'm like, man, this sucks. I'm done. I still had 3 seasons left and 3.5 hours into it.
One for all 3, huh?
Yeah.
That bites.
Yeah.
That.
I mean, it was cool, and bow hunting is definitely a challenging way to take deer. Might be a little bit more challenging than muzzleloader hunting, which is my absolute favorite. But yeah, it was. That was it. I was gonna get back into it, but I have to shoot left-handed now, and I just can't do that with bow. My left eye just doesn't do well with bow.
Hmm.
But I guess we could use crossbows now.
I like to hunt with muzzleloaders too, but we don't have such a small season like you. Back when I was a teenager, you could shoot one buck a day.
Way our season is here, we can kill 2 bucks, and one of them needs to be a big buck, at least 4 points on one side, and then you can kill 10 does.
Here, they just recently regulated it down so you can only shoot 3 bucks, but you can shoot as many does as you want. But one year I think I shot 18 deer.
Golly, man.
That's right up there with Rob, a Mooser. A Mooser shoots 20 or so deer a year. He shoots them all the time. That's what he does for a living, or part of what he does.
Yep. I mean, you can get into if you can find the right person with a farm tag, you can kill a bunch of deer. And now they've actually allowed us. I think you get 1 buck tag in PA, and you can get multiple doe tags now. But they've also regulated bucks as far as antler size, and depending on where you are, which zone you are, it's got to be certain. I don't even remember. I have to look it up every time because I don't even know which one is what.
So you have different, the red zone is for the loading and unloading of deer.
Yes, exactly right. Yep, and I live close to a couple boundaries. So if I go hunt 5 miles away at my dad's house, it's a certain amount of antlers. But if I were to hunt here, first of all, my doe tag wouldn't work, and I would also have a little bit different regulation as far as antlers. And if I went 15 miles north, I would be in another different regulation antler zone. Matter of fact, where my dad's property is, if a deer could run across a main road and be legal on one side and not on the other.
So why'd the deer cross the road?
Yeah, to get the crap out of Dodge.
Yeah.
Yeah, he hit the crap out of the Dodge, took 2 windows out and a fender.
Yeah. Not the way I prefer to get my deer.
Home zone. Yeah, exactly. There's no tags for how many deer you can run over.
If you can afford it, more power to you. Tender.
You don't have to afford it. Just go get you about a 1968 Ford, right? F-250. Ain't gonna cost you nothing.
Big old brush guard in the front.
Yeah, just don't slow down.
Jack it up a bit.
Yeah, exactly.
Nathan.
Sir?
The red zone is for loading and unloading only. There is no parking in the red zone.
Don't give me your red zone, white zone shit again.
I was wondering if anybody's going to pick up on that.
Surely you can't be serious.
I am serious, and don't call me Shirley.
Yeah. Well, obviously, where I live, the doe to buck ratio is highly out of whack. We've got a lot more doe than buck, and it's so bad that in the rut you can't rattle a buck in. There, you know, you just, I mean, doe lure. Tink 69 works great, but as far as rattling a buck in, unless they're on the alert, that ain't going to happen because there's just, to come break up a fight, a buck's going to have to walk away from a hot doe, and that ain't going to happen.
Well, I've got about when I first moved here 4 years ago, there was one cottontail that you'd seen around a little bit, real skittish. Today I stepped outside and was just kind of watching the kids play everything, and I seen 8 of them in the neighborhood. So I'm like, it's time for to break out the slingshot. I'm getting ready to have me some Hassenfrost stew.
Next week there'll be 35.
Yep.
Man, we went for years without seeing any rabbits up here, and we got a family living in our yard right now, close by in the woods anyway.
I declared war on some squirrels in my backyard this spring. They started eating the Japanese maple trees I bought from my mother 20 years ago. Eating the trees, not the blooms, breaking limbs off and eating the limbs. So there's about 18 less around this neck of the woods right now. And there's a mama cat around here that's eating fat and happy.
Cool. Making this my dream hunt, bud. I'd love to go to Montana or South Dakota and kill a whitetail and an elk on the same hunt. Well, same week, not necessarily same hunt, but
A lot of hiking for elk hunting, but I'd love to do it.
Yep.
Well, see, what you do is you screw a silencer on the muffler of your four-wheeler. Then they can't hear you coming.
Yeah, but you got to wait like 3 years for that silencer to get through customs and tax.
Damn, they got you coming and going.
Exactly. Well, I thinned out the herd a couple years back at my parents with a pellet gun, squirrels, and I bet you I got about 20 or 30 of them inside of maybe a week, and that seemed to thin them down for about a year, and they are back with a vengeance out there. I went over there a couple weeks ago, and my God, the squirrels are everywhere. You sitting down on the porch area trying to chat, and they'll come up right behind you, and they've gotten totally used to people.
You're nuts.
Break out the old Red Rider. Yeah, I bet, brother. I bet that is a lot of work.
that's all hunting, though, Bacon. When the deer hits the ground, the fun's over and the work starts. So, 67 Rebel, your 154 class 10.295 field dress, what was that? Was that an elk or a deer? If it was a deer, what kind? What breed?
Certainly wanting Georgia deer.
No, it ain't no Georgia deer.
For a southern Georgia deer, it'd dress out at 65 pounds.
Well, the ones I kill up here generally are probably 130 to 180 pounds, after you get them somewhere. I like what Fuzz says. He said he does his hunting at the IGA and he does his fishing at Long John Slivers.
Nice.
He said that was a whitetail. That's a heck of a big whitetail.
Yeah, that's yeah.
I've seen some big whitetail up around big man's way, but I've never seen anything that big. I don't think.
I've seen a bunch of big whitetail on the side of the road in Illinois.
Yeah, there's some big ones out there, but those kind of mid-Atlantic and northeastern are some of the bigger ones I've seen. I don't know. There's some big ones out. I don't know. I know I've never seen one that big though.
Old Fuzz got some nice ones that visit his front yard.
Out there in house slippers, feeding them, throwing corn out to them.
You talking about the deer or Fuzz?
I'm just thinking about. I just picture you Fuzz out there. Here you go, you damn varmints, causing them flea-bitten animals.
Yeah, those corn-fed deer get huge, Rebel.
Yeah, that's what Blue Healer 260 said. I was going to say the same thing. That's one of the things we're starting to get a little bit more agriculture back in this area. So we're getting more corn and beans, and it's really starting to affect the deer size. It's a lot noticeable, a lot more noticeable. Yeah, speaking sometimes eludes me.
Wording hard.
It's that whole English thing, yeah.
Yeah.
Stumps all of us every now and then.
I had some family that lived in southern central-ish area, Pennsylvania, and I went out there I think once or twice, and that's where I saw some of the bigger deer I've ever seen in my life. There, they were huge.
Fuzz said it's really hard dragging a kicking squirrel out of the woods. It's no easy chore. Wow.
Easier than putting a ferret in a mayonnaise jar.
Grab it by the tail and sling it around against a tree or something, dude. I mean, you're doing it wrong.
I'm just why?
Jeremy, where we live, we don't have any wild hogs, but ambiguity. However you say it. They said they got hogs down there, but I would love to do that. I think that 35 Remington would be a good hog gun, right, Lever Guns?
Sir, it would. I shot a 500-pound hog one time with my 5110.
And what happened?
It was dead before it hit the ground. I was expecting something like, I walked over and picked up the pork chops. It was already butchered out and all that. But, man, that is an awesome gun, man.
Jeremy, we got hogs, or Jamie, we got hogs around here. It's just they're not going to be walking down Main Street. You got to go get off the pavement a little bit.
Yeah, didn't they pull Hogzilla out from around you guys?
The thing's about halfway between you and me.
So I didn't think around Macon then, huh? I didn't know that. I thought it was more toward
hogs over there where I go shooting at all the time. Might make a hog hunting weekend trip.
We have a few down here, but it ain't too bad. I mean, we have more hogs down here than we have bear or cat. So combined. But it's still not that big a deal. Now you go just a little bit south and a little bit east of us, then you got a fair amount of black bear. But I haven't seen too many hogs. They're around, but
my parents are fighting off a black bear on their porch in the middle of the night, and but where they're at, they're protected. So they're
not from a Red Cross.
They're everywhere. My mom called me and said, you should have seen your dad. And my dad's approaching 70 years old. He heard this ruckus on the front porch, and he grabs his shotgun and goes storming through the house. And he rips that front door open, and there's a bear. He just closes the door, turns the lock back, and went back to bed.
Martha, you go back to bed. Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, Jeremy, I'll take you up on a boar hunt. Gonna bring Lever Guns with me. So, Lever Guns, how big are the deer where you're at? You've heard about the size of ours around here.
The average deer, at least the average deer, the ones I've actually seen, are, shot, say they're between 160 to 205 pounds.
Golly. Yeah, y'all's are just a notch above ours. Maybe 2.
I would say the average is probably 180.
Yeah.
For a mature 8-point or bigger buck.
Yeah, and when we're talking about a mature deer, we're talking about 4 years old or older.
Correct.
And I would say around here, a deer that age probably average 135 to 185.
I thought they was bigger in Georgia.
Well, I'm up in the northwest corner. I always thought there were bigger deer in South Georgia, but Nathan tells me there's not. I think the deer right below, right in middle Georgia, where all the agriculture is, I think those are some pretty big deer. I think they get up around 220.
There's some decent deer on the property where I go shooting at, and it's west central Georgia. So
what happens down here is like my parents are over in Brooks County, and it's not very surprising for the largest deer of the year to come out of Brooks County. But the thing is, the average deer is 150 to 170 pounds, 80 pounds at the most. But you'll get one every once in a while. So we have some very big deer, but we have mostly pretty spindly deer. So we don't have like a good middle ground. Now I couldn't even tell you why that is, but that seems to be the case down here. Most everything that you see, even bucks, you get, an 8-point or so size buck, and it's 170 pounds, 180. And it's not that he's scrawny, he just ain't very big.
Good deer.
Yeah. But you can't get or you can every once in a while pull one of those 240, 250 monsters. But mostly you're going to get smaller deer down here.
Yeah, if any of you guys want to go coyote hunting, hit me up.
The coyotes getting bad out there?
Starting to.
You can't hardly go camping where I go shooting. You can't fall asleep for all of it. Good Lord. I've called a bunch of them in real close, but I don't have the night vision and all that stuff. I just go out there right towards sundown and start hitting the electronic call and seeing what shows up. And you can hear them getting closer, and everybody's starting to get all excited. And then somebody go, hell, I couldn't see it if it was right in front of me right now. we don't have the night vision and stuff to do it. We got to start earlier in the afternoon or get up really early in the morning.
We got to bring back more cats to keep the coyote control down.
Yeah, I don't think these coyotes give a shit about a cat. That's breakfast.
No.
Big cat.
I'm not talking about your kitty cat. I'm talking about cats.
Then the problem is they get so damn big, then you're dinner.
I know.
Go ahead, Lever.
Are your coyotes over there starting to run in packs like they do around here?
Yes.
Huge packs. I mean, we'll have a pack on this side of us and a pack on that side of us. I've got access to about 800 acres down there. And there'll be a pack over here and a pack over here, and it sounds like they're arguing like husband and wife, and there's 300 in each pack. I mean, it's terrible.
They're arguing over who gets to eat you.
Yeah, they don't want to play that game.
There's more than there are you.
That's okay. I got skills, man. Worst comes to worst, hand grenade will kill all of us.
Oh, so you're going to Neo the whole thing, go dodging coyotes. Kyle, the redneck Neo.
I might have lost my life, but I took 78 of them fuckers with me.
Redneck Matrix. That's awesome, man.
I have opposable thumbs and bullets.
Yes. Thorzak said, pretty much saying, why stop at a hand grenade? Go full Claymore.
Yeah. Application of high explosives. Yeah. Yep. Well, I know as the coyote population has gone up down here, the cat population has started to go up. Like they've started noticing enough cats that they're actually considering saying that they're here. Because when I first moved down here, or when I got out of the military and came down here 10, 11 years ago, it was super rare. And now it's common that, one of your game cameras is going to catch a cat around here.
You talking about bobcats or panthers?
Well, see, that's the thing, man, because, all of them are the same cat as far as I know, except for the ones that are small. And it's hard to tell what you're catching, but it looks to be, from what I've seen on Gary's game cam, probably the back being a little over the knee. It's hard to see on a game cam. So it's really hard to tell exactly what you're looking at, except for the fact that a cat's a cat. But yeah, if the back's a little bit over top of the knee, or over top of my knee. So probably 2.5, 3 feet high.
It's pretty easy to tell, Nathan, a panther or a cougar, which is to me the same cat, has big long tail, and a bobcat tail's only like that.
Well, yeah, no. These are then you would call that a panther. Now, whether that's what I'm saying, I don't know, because down here they'll have 18 different names all for the same cat, so I didn't want to get into that conversation. But as far as I agree with you, a bobcat is a whole different little thing, and they're not bobcats. Now, whether or not that's a Florida panther, I have no idea. But yeah, they're becoming pretty common down here.
What I would call a cougar.
I'm sorry, Jamie.
Yeah, exactly. What Bacon said.
Well, no, cougars and bobcats and mountain lions are not the same thing. Panthers are black, cougars are overgrown bobcats, and bobcats are the little spotted bastards.
Not correct, but fair enough. That's what I'm used to. So that's why I try not to enter that conversation about species. But yeah, they're pretty good size.
We have had some black panthers been sighted in Georgia and done some damage. Most of the time, it's cougars. Bobcats are just annoying bastards that scream.
Yeah, cougars and mountain lions are the same, and I think panthers are black, basically.
That's where I was at with it. I thought panthers were black. Cougars and mountain lions are the same thing. Bobcats are bob-tailed versions of cougars.
Only smaller.
Yeah, just
yeah.
So I think what we call a cougar here, big man up in Pennsylvania, they would call it a mountain lion. And,
or cougar or panther, yeah, it's all.
Yeah. So what about y'all, Lever? Y'all got any of them kind of things down there?
Come on, Chico. Really, man?
Well, they say there's no panthers or lions here. Oh, no, there is.
Yeah, those things move all around. I mean, I remember one not long ago, they were tracking a black bear that ended up moving some 400 miles within 3 years. And it's to say that they're in, cats in an area, it's they might not be living there full time, but there's cats all around. Chico.
I was going to say the bar, but.
Yeah. Absolutely. At the Publix.
I don't know where you live, but where I live, Walmart's not a very target-rich environment.
Now, you could probably end up finding something at Starbucks nowadays.
I don't go to Starbucks. I don't like guns.
I don't go there either because who wants to spend $6 on a cup of coffee?
There
But
you go.
That part.
if you're after a sugar mama, what better than somebody who does have money to spend $6 on a cup of coffee?
Well, you still supporting that liberal bunch, man. I ain't going there.
I didn't say I had to buy
Chico,
anything.
Chico says deal seeking has its perks.
Yeah, they do. Yeah,
This
I
has been pretty fun. I'm sorry I had to stop off in the middle of it and handle some business.
well, maybe sometimes I'll tell y'all my Bobcat story. Scotsman, we appreciate you putting that link out there, brother. You've been saving us. Chico, are you caught up with us now?
I hope so. Hope we don't have a connection issue again.
Yeah, that's better. Try the side chat again for us, can you, sir?
Yes, sir. You want me to call them out?
Please.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. We got Daniel, God is my judge, loads of bacon, fuzz tea fork. 8, Blue Hiller 260. The crazy Scotsman is holding us down in the side chat with posting the link. Thank you, brother. Thoughts of an Old Soldier, Jerry 1911, Vanessa Kitty, William C. Chaplin, Jage 586 is on the panel. Hemi Scrub, Thor's X, Big Man Outdoors is on the panel with us. Appalachian Reloader, the Reloading Press is on the panel with us. Scrolling. Michael Signs, Pony _ 47. Red Rider Reloading, AK Larry K. Webb. Thank you, brother, for being here. Tread, Jeremy Gunslinger, Signal Soldier 31, James Pollard. Sorry about my neighbor's dogs. BM Freedom, the Big Man Outdoors on the panel with us. Biggity. Biggity. Yeah. He left, but I always mess that up.
Biggie Small.
He said to go. Yeah. I say Thoughts of an Old Soldier already. Edward Petty, 67 Rebel SSTAMC, as Uncle Jim says. And Lead Bullet Junkie, Kyle Luss is on the panel. I got his name that time.
Woohoo!
Andy 79Z28, and that is, I hope I didn't miss anybody. James Pollard, Reloader 762, and that is it that I see on my last refresh.
I've got my frogs. I can bring them in. They'll be on the side chat.
So we got 4 thumbs down. What's up with that? Yeah. At least you're watching. So thank you.
Thank you for your view. That's what we tell them.
Hey, Jamie.
Yeah.
Maybe we're getting popular enough for trolls.
Well, maybe.
I haven't seen any in the side chat, so.
Oh, we've got the silent trolls.
Yeah. That's not even really a. Yeah, who knows?
Yeah, you're right. You're right, Nathan. They make very screaming sounds. It's very weird.
Curl your hair if you're not ready for it.
It's like, why would a troll come on here? I mean, you want a bunch of gun guys mad at you. Kind of like the guy go to the cop bar and tries to rob the place, and he looks up and there's 60 Glocks pointed at him. Except for in this group, there would be no Glocks, I hope.
Everybody's got to have their pastime. Some people just like to go around and mess with people.
Not saying nothing, but I own 2 of them. It's all right.
On what? 2 trolls or Glocks?
Yes.
All the above.
I have 2 young children and I have 2 Glocks. Yes.
No, Jeremy, I ain't heard about them finding gators in Arkansas. I'm waiting on the punchline.
We got gators in Alabama.
Do you really?
especially over by the Georgia line.
They found them on the broke down. They found the gators on the broke down bus. That's what it was.
Not those kind of gators.
Leftover dinosaurs.
Yep. I don't screw with them.
Yeah.
They have their place. I have mine.
That's why I stay north.
Man, everybody's scared of the mouth of an alligator. Don't be scared of that. Be scared of that damn tail. That son bitch will break both your legs in one swipe.
Yeah, it's a dinosaur. I ain't dicking with it. Whether it's a crocodile or an alligator, I ain't messing with that.
What about a big-footed grizzly frog?
I like mine deep fried.
With hot sauce.
I mean,
Cholesterol king right there.
Gator tail is good, brother.
It is, man. The only thing better than gator tail is crawfish.
You can
I don't know. I'm going to tell something, but we can talk about it off stream.
Yeah.
Hey, look, I got one question for Level Guns before we get off here, and it's a real easy question. I'm in the market for a Rossi 92 and 357 mag, and I've been looking at some used ones, and sometimes they go quick. Anything I should look at, particularly when I'm going to look at those used Rossi's, because I may just end up buying a new one if I can find. I can find one, but if I find a used one, anything I should focus on, pay attention, or stay away from on those particular ones?
Not really, because if you don't like it, you can always sell it. They sell really.
They do. They sell quick too.
Yeah, I'm looking for the same gun.
They're a hot item right now.
Most people I know that have them love them.
Yeah,
Cool. Thanks, brother.
I think the pastor got us all wanting one of them.
Yeah, he did.
He got two of them.
My saving grace is I don't have a 357 revolver. If I did, I'd be looking for one.
My brother has one of those Rossi lever actions with the long octagon barrel, 38, 357. Oh, is it fun to shoot?
It's where my 44 is. I love shooting that thing.
Just lever guns.
They're just fun, yeah.
They are.
They are, yeah. I've got a Henry 22. I love shooting that thing. I think every time I go to the range, I take it, but I want something bigger.
Yeah,
I've been looking at getting a Henry 22 just for the heck of it, because you see these young kids on YouTube, and they're just, oh my God, they're blowing through ammo in, what is it, 20 shots in 2.8 seconds, all on target. Like, what?
I thought you had a Henry 22. I thought you had an AR-7.
Not a lever action. I got the Henry survival rifle. Yes, Scotsman. Yes, 2 new guns in my future. No, bad, no.
And one more question, Lever Guns. 67 Rebel SST AMC said, if you can answer this question, what lever gun brand shoots lead the best?
From my most of the 30-30, the 94 is really good, but that's just my experience.
Okay.
As far as what calibers he looking for,
I think he's talking about whether it's got the micro groove rifling or the regular rifling, or I think that's what he's talking about.
I think any of them will shoot good if you find the right bullet.
I agree.
Cool. Yeah.
I think there's a lot of misinformation out there, and I don't know enough about it, but when it comes to some of the Marlins, there's a group of people that tend to think you can't shoot decent speeds with lead in a newer Marlin, and I don't know how much truth there is to that. especially now with powder coated lead and all the other options you have. But I do think there is that information. I remember years ago reading that a lot in Cast Bullet Forum. The guys were just giving up and shooting unique in them. But
I would say that ones made in Japan have really smooth barrels on the inside. They probably lead less than the Remy's.
yeah, that would make sense.
Mm-hmm.
And some of that I would think comes down to the actual metallurgy in the barrel. I know I have some barrels that look like they were reamed with a rock and a piece of notebook paper, but don't lead and shoot great. And some that are smooth as a baby's bottom, and I can't stop like antimony wash creep going up into the barrel for the first inch or two. So I think that I don't know. There's a lot to it.
I think some of that, maybe the barrel's dimensions are not consistent.
Yeah, I mean that's your most likely cause. I mean, especially when I deal like one of them that has that antimony wash issue. I think a lot of that's got to do with having a little bit of a squeeze right there at the throat due to barrel torque. But you know, a lot of stuff that I mess around with handguns, so it doesn't really seem to count as much.
Same principle, though.
Yeah. We got about 3 minutes left, guys. So I want to go around and say about what we got going on. I want to thank Big Man Outdoors and Lever Guns 5110. Kind of go around the horn and then talk about the charity one more time, and then maybe give a quick prayer, and we'll be out.
Sure, guys and side chat, ladies and gentlemen. Thanks for joining us for our Friday night side chat. I want to thank both our guests, Big Man Outdoors and Lever Guns, and I've got some NOE 135 grain bullets to try out. That's what I'm working on. So hopefully I'll get to the range, and I got a few extra guns over here. I might do some reviews. Somebody dropped them off for me for a while. So that's it for me. Thanks for being here, everyone. Thanks to the Scotsman for helping us out in the side chat with the link. I definitely appreciate it. Thanks for having me, guys.
Hey, guys, I really appreciate everybody coming out. Thanks, Lever Guns. Thanks, Big Man. It's been a good time. Sorry I had to leave for a little bit right in the middle of it, but I'm back, and we had a good time. It was definitely it's definitely going to be worth the watch. So just want to say thank you to everybody in the side chat, and y'all have a good and safe weekend.
Yeah, every time I get on one of these, I always feel like the little kid that gets to sit at the adult table. Lots of fun. Thank you all for having me. Always a pleasure to talk to you all, and I will, very grateful that you extended the invitation, and love being here. Great side chat, great conversation all around. As far as things I got going on, I just last week loaded up some 45 ACP. I need to go shoot those. First time ever. See how that all works out. Just got a new barrel for my 224 Valkyrie, so I'm going to be playing around with that. Got a lot of stuff going on. Just working on 30 caliber loads for different rifles, so all kinds of stuff. But yeah, thanks for having me on. Thanks to side chat. Everybody who's Ozark and Willie and everybody, they're all in our thoughts and prayers. And
Lever, you want to tell us what you got coming up, man?
Always trying to come up with interesting videos. Try to come up with videos on older and unique firearms, and just keep it interesting. And fixing to go to a prayer meeting. We'll say a prayer for Ozark and his family.
Yeah, I'll pray for us here in a minute. But I want to thank both of you guys for being on with us. Chico and Kyle, thank y'all. All y'all, my brothers. Nathan, we especially appreciate you kind of holding us down, and everybody from the side chat. Thank y'all. We had I saw Scotsman post that we had 51 on at one point. We're just overwhelmed again. The links are in the side chat. If you can make a donation, we appreciate it. And again, her name is Susie Park. So, Nathan, you want to say anything before I pray for us?
No, I like I said, you said something about the charity, and keep Willie in your mind, everybody. And hit us up on Slack as we get more information about this possible July 5th shooting event. I did not know that there was. I thought that day was pretty well solid. So every day we're learning something new as this tries to unfold a little bit. And guys, I seriously doubt this is going to be one of those deals, right, where it's like a conference for work that you're going to be showing up to as something that is all set up and meals are planned and everything else. I think this is going to be one of the deals where we have somewhere to go shoot. We have invitations that are open to everybody, and we're going to have to figure it out a little bit on our own, and then maybe work together. And it's going to take some flexibility to make this work well. We have not, as Jamie said earlier, we have not even got a solid date yet from the installation. So I think July 5th is probably pretty hard, but there's a chance that even that could possibly move. So we're going to have to be a little bit flexible if we can. But that's it for me.
All right, guys, if y'all move your lids, I'll say a quick prayer. Great and gracious Heavenly Father, we thank you for this day, for the opportunities that you bless us with, for each and every one comes out on our side chat, for our guests tonight, for four like-minded people that have come together to do this and host this on a Friday night. I thank you for Kyle, for Chico, and for Nathan. But, Father, we got a brother in Arkansas that's hurting bad as he's lost his wife. We've got 3 sons out there that have lost their mother. And, Lord, we know they're hurting, and we know that they need your comfort. You're the only one who can comfort them. And, Lord, if there's anything we can do for them, please let us know. And, Lord, we pray that you take the gifts that are offered up and the donations made in Miss Susie's name. Lord, we just pray that you'd bless them and multiply them, and that we can come up with a cure or a treatment for autism. And Lord, we just pray for that family. And Lord, we lift up our brother Willie to you, who's finally home from the hospital. We just praise you for that. And we're so, these 2 guys, Ozark and Willie, are such a big part of our community, as each and every one on this panel and in this side chat, and our guests as well, we're just have grown to care so much for each other. And Lord, we know that you're behind that. And we just lift up Willie for your healing touch. We lift up Ozark and his family for comfort. Lord, let this be an opportunity for you to glorify yourself in the answering of the prayers of your children. May you be glorified in all things. In Jesus' name, amen.
Amen.
Thanks, everybody, for coming out. And
Amen.
We'll, Lord willing, we'll see y'all next week. But like Nathan said, keep your eyes out on Slack and on the Reloading Network, Reloaders Network, and we'll keep y'all posted. I hope everybody comes back next week, and we can do anything for you. Let us know. We're all on Slack. Y'all hit us up. Till next week, have a great week, guys. Thanks for coming.
Night.
Night, everyone.
Good night, guys.